Hey y'all, how do I tag people? I will wait for a few people to jump on before I start to talk. Hello, I can't see who is on, but hello, thank y'all for tuning in. I am running late today, as usual. I am working on being more on time, but thank y'all for tuning in. I wanted to jump on here really quickly before I go to my son's recital. Hey, Miss Tiffany. I gotta go to Deontay's recital, but I promised y'all yesterday I was gonna jump on, and I did not get a chance to jump on, so I wanted to jump on today. So, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all tag some wives, tag some fiancés, tag some people that want to be married, tag a woman, all that good stuff. So today, and I'm going to scoot my chair up a little bit. So today I thank y'all for tuning in. I have not been on here, and let me know if y'all can hear me clearly, okay? I have not been on here in 3 weeks, and I miss you guys so much. I had a very, very eventful couple of weeks. It was my wedding anniversary with my husband. I've been married 12 years, so we had to celebrate that. And all right, so we had to celebrate that, and I went away with him, and I did not do any work. I did not do anything, and that is so important as a wife and as a married individual, is to take that time away and spend that intimate time with your spouse, because in ministry, with work, with the children and all of that good stuff, we will forget that we have a spouse that we need to spend time with and to have fun with and to do all of that good stuff. So, oh Jesus. So, go talk to daddy. So, we forget that we need to spend that time with our spouse. So I went away. Him and I, we did not work. We did not go to church. We did not have the kids. We did not do anything that consisted of ministry or working or doing anything. We spent time with each other. We enjoyed each other. We went out to eat. We got a room. We slept. We went and had a photo shoot taken. Just all of that good stuff. It rekindled the fire that that brought us together. So make sure that, as wives and as husbands, that you guys spend time together, because that's important. It's important to, hey Dave, it's important to spend time with your spouse. It's important to watch movies. It's important to have date night, and it's important to, spend quality time. So listen, but in the midst of all of that, y'all, I have something very, very important I want to talk to y'all about. And when I tell you that we are going to get into it, we are going to get into it, okay? So I've been speaking to a lot of wives, okay? I have been speaking to a lot of wives. I've been speaking to a lot of people that are engaged. I've been speaking to a lot of people that are single. I mean, the phones have been buzzing about what I'm going to talk to y'all about today. And I'm going to talk to y'all about it briefly, okay? Very, very briefly. So, I had a conversation with a 27-year-old female that has never, ever dated, okay? 27-year-old female that's never dated, grew up in the church, never dated, okay? So she asked me, did I find my husband, or did my husband find me in church? Okay, so again, we're talking about a church female, 27 years old, who asked me, did I meet my husband at church? And I'm like, why would you ask me if I met my husband at church? That is a key question. Did I meet my husband at church? So I'm like, now I'm intrigued, because I'm like, where else would I meet my husband if we are both Christians? And she made a statement to me, you guys. This is about to blow y'all minds, because I've been thinking about it for 3 weeks. 3 weeks. She said that she believes that the church does not prepare women to become wives. Again, she said that the church does not prepare women to become wives. And I had to think about that. Like, did the church really, really prepare me to become the wife to my husband? Like, who taught me how to be a wife? Where did all of the qualities, where did all of the knowledge come from? Did the church really, really prepare me to become someone's wife? Did the church really prepare me to be a woman that is found? Did the church prepare me to become a woman that is found? I'm sorry, y'all, my phone is ringing. What are y'all thoughts on that? Women that are wives, women that are engaged, women that go to church. Did the church really prepare you to become somebody's wife? That is a key question. She's 27 years old. Okay? So then she made a second statement, and we're going to talk about this because I've been asking people, hey, Luella, and I've been asking people, did the church help you? Did the women of the church prepare you to become the virtuous woman, the virtuous wife, the Proverbs 31 woman that everyone talks about? Who helped you become her? Okay? So then she made the second statement, y'all. I'm telling y'all. Hey, DJ. Babe. Not the kid. Babe. Oh, there you go. Okay, so then she made the second statement. Okay, now listen, y'all, I don't got a lot of time. But what she said was that, second of all, that the men in the church do not find women in the church to marry. That blew me away. That blew me away. And I had to think about it. Like, I even had to think. I have bundles on here. This is bundles. This is not a wig. This is 4 bundles and a closure. So, hey, Brandy. So, she said that the men in the church don't pick women in the church. Oh my God. And I'm like, what? The men in the church don't choose women in the church to marry, although the women are keeping themselves and they are holding themselves and they are preparing themselves to become a wife that the man will never select. Are you kidding me? I mean, let me know what y'all think about this. Tiffany, this is something to think about. This is a 27-year-old female that attends church that says that the men in the church do not pick the women in the church to marry. Okay? Because although the women are going to church, the church is not preparing the women to become wives. And because the church is not preparing women to become wives, the men select women that don't go to the church. Listen, we gonna get into it. Latasha, this is, I had to ask several married people what they thought about this, because all of our lives, we are being prepared and we are being groomed to be picked by a husband that is saved, sanctified, that is a man of God, that is all of this, that, and the third. And all of a sudden we find out that he don't never pick us, that he gonna bring somebody from outside the church into the church. But the church, that's what we're being taught. Ooh, Dave. Ooh, Dave. Ooh, Dave. Listen, we are going to talk about this. Is the church preparing us to become wives? I mean, so then I had to think about it, right? So everybody knows I have a son. My son's 17 years old, okay? He has grown up in the church. I birthed him in the church. You know, me and my husband is a pastor. We've both been working in ministry all of his life. And his girlfriend that he's been with for 3 years, she don't go to church. What is that saying? What are we doing? What are we doing? And this is for the wives. This is for the church. Okay? So exactly, but she's made a statement that the church is not preparing the women in the church to become the wife that God has, the wife that God wants us to be. That Proverbs 31 woman, that virtuous wife, that the church is not preparing the women to be that. So because of that, the men are not finding wives in the church, that they are going outside the church and then bringing their wives back into the church. Throw me away. Throw me away. Okay? Throw me away. So then y'all know, y'all already know, it is the church's job to prepare the women. But listen, I mean, this is why this is another reason why I have a pull to do this. Not because I believe that I'm the best wife in the world, because I'm not. I have my own flaws. We have our own issues. But who taught me how to be a wife? Because I seen my mama married. My mama was married all my life. My husband's parents are married. You know what I'm saying? But who really is teaching the wives and the husbands to be the husband that loves no matter what, that to be the husband that loves his wife in the midst of, in spite of, and not just walk away, and then to be the wife to submit to her husband? Who is teaching us that? Who is teaching us how to truly prepare ourselves for what we are waiting for? Are we truly prepared for what we're waiting for God to bless us with something that we're not really prepared to receive what he's about to give us? Come on, come on. And that's the whole message right there. Are you ready? Are you prepared for what God is going to give you? Because nobody's teaching you. Nobody's teaching you. So she made that statement that the church is not preparing the women to become wives. And now I am challenged. And she is going to come on the live. Okay, I invited her to come on because she has a lot of good ideas and a lot of different views I would have never thought of. And I've been in church all my life, but when I sit back and think about it, it's like when we got married, like we kind of just like taught ourselves. We kind of like went along with the flow until we figured it out. You know what I'm saying? At any given moment, we could have walked out and said, you know what, this is not it. We don't want to do this anymore. But because, you know what I'm saying? We it's the truth, Tiff. That's what I'm saying. We could have walked out many of times. Me and my husband walked away from each other many of times in silence, and no one was there to help us. Nobody. Nobody. So is the church really preparing the young women to really be Esther? Because then if he do bless you with a husband, you don't know what you're doing, so you're going to mishandle the gift that he gave you. Come on. Listen. I am so honest. Who is going to prepare you for the husband that you've been asking God for? Because right now, they ain't choosing us. And it's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? And I, like I said, I even had to think about it. Deontay's girlfriend don't go to church. He's 17 years old. And he already made a decision that his girl don't know Jesus. You understand what I'm saying? And that's who he's been with for 3 years. I don't think so. It's not a job. It is not the job of the church to become our. Listen, but they are there to help us, Luella. Because other than that, if no one teaches me, hey, young lady, you know, you need to be quiet sometimes. You need to not be so combative and not try to be in charge all the time in your house, and allow your husband to lead the house, to allow your husband, like, it's okay to submit to him. It is okay for him to be in charge. You're not less of a woman because you are submitting yourself to your husband. Like, for real. Somebody had to tell me that. For real. So it is our job to help one another. You know, I have spoken to wives before who said, you know, I don't want to go do this. I don't want to go do that. And I clearly told them, your husband asked you to go do that. You go do what your husband invited you to. You go where your husband asked you to go. Don't listen to your friends and family telling you don't go. Don't listen to him. No, that's your husband. You submit yourself to him. Because once I learned how to listen, that's what I'm saying. Once I learned how to honor and obey and respect my husband, my life became a whole lot smoother. And I'm not even finna lie to you. My life became a whole lot smoother. Because I made up in my mind, you know what? I can't, I'm just gonna go to God, because I can't sit up here and argue back and forth with him. I'm gonna go to God and let God handle him, because I can't handle him. You can't control him. God, that's God's job. And I'm sorry, so somebody in the church could have helped me, because I was out here living and figuring it out on our own. DJ and I, we figured it out on our own. Hi, Mama Connie. Listen, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Lead by example. Look, hold on, y'all. I'm getting phone calls. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But that is one of the things that was presented, and this is one of the things that was stated, is that, you know, the church is not preparing us to become that virtuous wife, the church is not preparing us to become the Proverbs 31 woman. So this is what I want us, this is what I want us to talk about. I am going to invite this young lady on. With my situation, I left it with God, and I pray for her and the boys every day. Listen, because it is, being in a relationship, being married, it is not for the weak. It is not for people. Listen, it is for those that can endure and to the end. Okay? So I'm going to invite this young lady on. That's why your parents are for it. Yeah, no. My parents were married. And the good thing is, I've never seen my parents argue. I never seen my parents disagree. My parents did parenting so well. It was nothing but love in our home. Like, we didn't struggle for finances. Everything me and my brothers wanted, we had. So it was good. But nobody told me, you know what? It ain't about you. You're not the princess that you thought you were. Okay? Like, you have to work together with your husband. So my parents are still together. When my mama passed, she was still married to my dad. So that means nothing. You could be raised in a house with your parents who are still married, and everything be hunky-dory, and you still don't know how to communicate, and you still don't know how to get an understanding, and you still don't know how to meet in the middle. So that has nothing to do with your parents teaching you how to be in a relationship with a man or be in a relationship with a woman. Because my parents were a true example of love and all of that stuff. And my dad loved my mama up until the day he could not love her anymore, up until we buried her. So, and all of that, I still didn't know how to communicate. So, to each his own. This is one of the views that one of the young ladies had, and I am going to invite her on. Hey, bro. Hey, bro. So, yes, I'm going to invite her on because we're going to talk about this. How can we prepare ourselves as women, to become the wife that our husband is looking for, and that we don't mishandle him or abuse him because he is a husband. Okay? The second view, and I only got 7 more minutes. So listen, the second view is that that we are so women, we are so used to being. Thank you. So thank you. So women, and I got to drop this right here because I got to go to my son's violin recital. But she stated this, that women, we are so used to being chased, okay? We are so used to being pursued because the Bible says a man that finds a wife finds a good thing. And listen, my husband pursued me. I'm not gonna lie. We are so used, like we ain't chasing after no man. We're not doing none of that. We are going to wait until he finds us. I am all for all of that. Okay, so these are the views of someone else that I spoke to. Okay, she stated that we are so used, and if you go to church all your life and still don't know, listen, you can. And marriage and relationships is a balance. You're gonna learn, you're gonna hit your head, you're gonna figure it out. You're gonna figure out what works. Like I always say in all of my on all of my lives, you have to figure out what works for you in your household, because what works over here may not work over there. You just have to figure it out. But what I was going to say is that she said that women are so used to being pursued that we don't know how to pursue our husbands. That we are so spoiled. That we are so selfish. We are so selfish that we don't know how to cater to our own men. Listen, and I'm like, I had to ask my husband, I'm like, do I pursue you? Is it all, like, even after marriage, do they still have to pursue you even after marriage? Like, you can't do nothing? You can't cater to him at all? You can't ask him to go on a date? You can't do anything? And it's always as far as a man is concerned, that he has to give. A real relationship that is financially struggling is totally dependent on a relationship that is financially stable, though. It's totally dependent from a relationship. Yeah. Well, finances, that's a whole nother topic. We are going to talk about that. But does your husband have to continue to pursue you 12 years later? Like, I'll ask my husband, can we go out to eat? Like, he won't let me pay, but I do ask him to go out to eat sometime. But do the husbands have to continue to pursue you even after he already has you? Are we selfish women? Are we selfish? Are we just so, that we only want it all about us, and we don't acknowledge the fact that maybe they want lunch sometime, that they may need some quality time, that they may need a massage, that they may need to be catered to? Are we that selfish? Ooh, you log off. A lot of but this is the reason why I have a pull to the married women, that I am being pulled towards married women, that I am being pulled towards women that are engaged and looking to be engaged, because a lot of the marriages in the church are divorced. A lot of them are struggling, and it's like people need help. People need help, and it's okay. Like, nobody's marriage is perfect. Like, I would be lying if I sat up here and told y'all that my marriage was picture perfect. No, we get into arguments, okay? We get into arguments. We disagree. We don't agree all the time. And guess what? We are still working it out. But this is why that this is so important, because I don't want the women to feel like they have no one. I don't want them to feel like they're the only ones going through this. And then if they are married, let me help you on the things that I had to learn. I had to learn how to be quiet. I had to learn how to pursue my husband. I had to learn that I am not the princess sitting in the house just waiting and not doing anything. Like, no, he has something that he wants to say, and he has what he wants to do, and it's not always all about me and what Sarah wants. Yes, it does work both ways, Tasha. It does, but that's what I'm stating. Where we may say, yes, we pursue our husband, it may be someone who out there that say, I'm not pursuing him. I'm not going to ask him to do this, that, and the third. And it's like, that's your man. Like, are we selfish in the church? Are we so gun-hold on saying he better pursue me, he better do this, and he better do that we lose the best thing we have because we want to be selfish? Okay, I believe the pursuit in the marriage should go both ways. Absolutely, Wendy. Absolutely. But we have to come to that, and sometimes if no one ever acknowledges, if no one says something, you will keep doing something because no one ever brought it to your attention. And that is the reason for this live. I want to bring it to our attention that wives, listen, pursue your husband, cater to your man. It is okay. You're not less of a princess. You're not less of a queen because you are pursuing your husband, and it goes both ways. Love goes both ways. It goes both ways. I think that this is absolutely okay to pursue your husband. Like Usher said, trade in places. Listen, and it's okay because you don't have to be selfish. That's selfish. Honestly, that is very, very selfish. And I could say that I used to do that. And I had to learn. And that's why I'm trying to help somebody else. Dating should never stop after marriage. Absolutely. You should continue to go on dates. I think we try to go on dates twice a month, but we're going to talk about that too. I have a list of things that I want to talk to you guys about, okay? But what I want to say is this. We are going to continue to talk. I am going to bring her on to the live, okay? And I also have a few women. One of the women have been married for 1 year. Another woman has been married for 5 years, all right? And I want them to talk about and share with you some of the things that they have experienced, some of the trials that they have experienced, and some of the, some of the things that they learned in their time of being married, because this is stuff that needs to be shared. This is, while I'm shouting and raising my hands in church, I still need to learn how to love my husband. That's what it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. While I'm doing all of that stuff. And this is why I'm going to continue to do this, okay? So what I want you to do is two things. I need y'all to go to my page, and I need y'all to like the page, which is Miss Sarah Latoya, okay? Because this is where we are going to go live, and this is where we as women and wives, we are going to really, really talk about it. You know, and I'm still trying to get my husband to come on here with me, but he don't like going live like that. But go like my page, Miss Sarah Latoya. I'm going to try to go live at least once a week. I don't have the time yet, okay, because I am a wife. So my life is all over the place, and I, you know, try to be there for my spouse, and I try to be there for my children. So I'm trying to work on more consistent time to go live. But today, right now, it worked, so I went live right now. I'm going to work on a more consistent time. But if you have anything that you would like to share, a question that you would like to ask, please feel free to inbox me, and I will definitely address these questions. I have a list of questions. I have a list of views, male and female views that I will go over, and we will discuss, and we're going to shed some light on some of these issues that are bothering us, that are plaguing our marriages, that are, you know, half of the reasons why we are getting divorced, and half of the reasons why we can't take nothing and we can't hold nothing. And we're going to talk about praying for our husbands and all of that stuff. Okay? Because I want us to be prepared, and not only that, I want our marriages to survive. And for my singles that's out there, for my single ladies, I want you to know what to expect. I want you to know what to expect. I want you to know that. I want you to know how to prepare yourself for a marriage, life after the wedding, because the wedding is all glamorous and everybody's there and you're so in love and you're taking pictures and everybody's cheesing and you guys are so happy and can't nothing go wrong. But then what happens after the wedding? Then you got to go home to reality. You got to go home, and y'all have to work the finances out, and you guys have to work out the children, and you guys have to work out spending quality time, and then you guys have to work out whose church are we going to go to. Oh, we're going to talk about it, okay? We are going to talk about it, because when me and my husband first got married, I went to my church and he went to his church. But guess what? When we got married, we couldn't go to separate churches. It was just too much. It was too much. So we are going to talk about that. Life after the wedding. Life after the wedding. Okay? So y'all go like my page. Thank y'all for tuning in. Share this video with someone. Share it with a man that go to church. That's who I really, really want y'all to share this with, because we need to talk about why the men in the church are not choosing the women in the church. Why they not choosing the women in church? That's the real question. Dad, listen. I am concerned of why the men are not choosing the women in the church. I'm very, 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 very concerned. So we are going to talk about that. Y'all put y'all views on here. Tell me why you think. We already had Dave. Dave said he tried it twice and it didn't work out with either one of the women that he went to church with. Why are the men in the church not choosing the women in the church? But they will choose somebody that's outside the church and bring them into the church to marry them. Listen, I don't have no words. I have no words. And like I said, my son's girlfriend don't go to church, and he's 17 years old. So I'm like, why? Why? You can find nobody in the church? Why are the men in the church not choosing us? That is the question. That is the question. Tell the truth, that they need to listen. I want to know, though, because like I've been asking men, and like I told my husband is a pastor's son. My husband is a pastor's son. It was a lot of women that went to his church before I came. I didn't go to his church. It was a lot of women that went to his church, a lot of single women that went to his church, but yet he did not marry in his church. He found me at somebody else's church and brought me to his church. Listen, I want to know. And I don't know if this is a question for the men. I don't know, you know, if this is, we need to do a panel. I'm going to figure it out, but stay tuned. I just had to drop this on y'all because this is truly something that we need to discuss, is why, listen, Dave, Darnell, why aren't the men in the church choosing? Ask Daddy.
The mom's not turning on the tube.
Tell your daddy. Okay, why are the men in the church not choosing the, ooh, that is a mouthful. That is a mouthful. Some of them are too saved because maybe they know most of us won't compromise. Now that's a good one then. But then I'm like, then why? They're getting married. They're having relationships their relationships are lasting, but yet they didn't marry in the church. But yet the women in the church are waiting for their husband to find them. And
help me with this.
Here. Okay, go. So the women in the church are waiting for their husbands to find them in the church, but yet the men in the church are going outside the church to find the women. It just don't. My nails too long. Okay, go. Oh, it's not staying. My nails too long. Ask Daddy to do it. So maybe they like to be in control, but that's what I'm saying. Is it that, or is it that that the women won't compromise? You know, that they have a standard that they want to upkeep, and if you don't meet their standard, then they won't, they'll continue to wait. And then, is it that we like to be too much in control? Is it that we don't know how to submit? Or is it that the men in the church don't like us because we are too saved? Like, what is it? Like, I need answers. I need answers. I need answers. And this is so important. And I believe that we need to have this conversation as a people, as the church community, as the singles community, as my husband and my son. I want to put them all on a panel, and I want to ask them, like, why do you guys not want to marry in the church? Why would you prefer to get someone, Jesus, outside the church? And what's the point? Like, what is, like, tell us, like, I'm confused. I'm very, 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 very confused. Some of the women in church have less standards and morals than the ones outside of the church. We need to have this conversation. Me too, girl. Listen, we are, okay? I can't have it today, but I want y'all to think about what I said, and think about it. Think about what I'm saying. Think about, if you're single, where can you become better? And if you're a man, think about what you're truly looking for. And then if you're married, do we pursue our husbands? Is that something that we do? Listen, I want to get some people's, responses first. I really want to get my husband to jump in and give me his view. And then I want to get my son to jump in and give me his view on what's going on. Okay? So, like I said, and for the wives, like, do we still pursue our husbands? Or are we selfish? Okay? So, today's conversation was kind of deep. It's tight, but it's right. It's questions that need answers. Okay? So, tune back in with me, Lady Sarah Thomas, and we are going to talk about it. I am going to invite a few people on, and y'all just want to stay tuned because we are going to talk about, I talked to a lady inside the church, but she got 1 foot, 1 foot in and 1 foot out. We're going to talk about it. We are going, that's deep. That's deep. That she has 1 foot in the church and 1 foot out the church. Or do the men have 1 foot in and 1 foot out? Is that the reason why the women aren't marrying the men? Like, we need to talk about it because I want, families to be whole. I want generational views will be I already talked to DJ. I already talked to Deontay. And I want to know. And if I can get my bishop on, y'all know we're going to have, it's going to be a good conversation. This is going to be a good conversation. I'm so excited. If I can get him on, that would be dope. And I do want to get some views of some people that don't go to church too. Like, what is it? Like, what are we truly looking for? What is the problem so we can become better? And this is not, to put down or to make people, feel a certain way. This is just questions that need answers because it is very important as women that are waiting patiently to be found so they can know what to expect. And then as wives, to say, you know what? Cater to your man, girl. Pursue him a little bit. It's all good. It's all good to pursue your man. Listen, I want y'all to be in love. I want y'all to be in marital bliss, okay? So my prayer is that you guys prosper. My prayer is that you are in good health. I pray for every marriage. I pray for every relationship that is waiting on their date to become married. I'm praying for you as an individual. I am praying for your family. I am praying for your spouses. I am praying for you. All right. So remember that I'm always praying for you. Like I said, make sure y'all send me y'all questions. It's going to get deep. It's going to get good. If you did not watch it, please watch the Deontay, you got a lot to say. I'm going to have to come back and reply to some of these messages. But I'm praying for you. I have to go watch my son. He is first chair violinist at his school. So I have to get off of here. But y'all think about what I said. And I'm going to come back with those people on here. And we are really going to talk about it. Because we as women, we need to know where we can become better. And we as wives, like I said, my prayer is for every marriage. I pray for people to stay married. I pray for homes to stay complete. Okay. For the covenant to stay completed. For the promise to stay completed. All right. So listen, I love you guys. I'm praying for you guys. Tune in next time. The Life of a Wife with Lady Sarah Thomas. Bye-bye.